Yeah, you may have to
Click the continue.
acknowledge that, so that you are acknowledge that you're aware that it's so. Without further ado, I would like to introduce Joe Goldstein, who is a long-time member of the Camera Club, has been very active in the Camera Club, as well as in a number of other clubs within the village, and is well known to a lot of people. His pictures appear frequently in the Globe and on village television. He has this wonderful slideshow of his trip to Portugal, with a little side excursion into Spain. And I will hand it over to him. Thank you. And please remember to turn off your videos, okay? Turning off mine now.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming. This is a 45-minute show of a trip that Marcia and I took in 2013. This is my first showcase. I haven't done this show before now, because I was teaching myself Pro Show. And you can judge for yourself how well I succeeded when you watch the show. At the end, I'll be glad to hear any comments and answer any questions you may have. The show is a tour of Portugal, starting in Lisbon, going up through Sintra, Fatima, to Porto, to cruise down the Douro River, all the way to the Spanish border, and then a side trip to Salamanca, and then back the river, and then back down eventually to Lisbon again, with a lot of side trips and interesting expeditions tacked on, most of which are shown in the show. I will now share the screen and start the show.
Great show, Joel.
Thank you.
Mm.
Really enjoyed that. The art in Lisbon and throughout your journey was just amazing.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're very artistic people, and the motifs of ships and ropes appear all over the country. Lisbon had a very serious earthquake and recovered from that. In one of the pictures, there was an arched doorway that had a big crack in it.
Mm.
That was from that earthquake.
Yeah.
It makes me want to go badly.
Joel, when did you go? When did you travel?
We went in 2013. I didn't do the showcase before this because I was teaching myself pro show.
Mhm.
And it took me a while to get the courage up to put it together.
What month in
We
2013?
went in May.
Ah,
Which was ideal. It was a little cool, but not hot. There was a pool on top, but nobody used it.
I noticed that. Looked tempting though.
What month was it, Joel?
May.
May.
May, thank you.
Yeah, we went in March, Joel, and enjoyed it very much. It's one of those gems that's underappreciated, I think, as far as European travel go.
Right. I think this company sort of pioneered the cruise on the Douro because they had run the gamut on river cruises in Europe, the Danube and so on, and the Rhine, and looking for a new venue, they picked Portugal, and I was very glad. The scenery was spectacular everywhere you looked.
There were so
Really a
many
very
different,
interesting trip.
there were so many different varieties of bridges. It was amazing.
Yes, they know how to build bridges.
Yeah.
Joel, was that AMA Waterways?
Yes, AMA Waterways. I looked today to see if that particular trip is still being offered, and it's not. They have two other trips, but they're each one way on the river. And the Lisbon part was an add-on that we booked through them. I think we had 3 days in Lisbon beforehand and a day or two afterwards.
Well, it was really nice.
Mhm.
Joel, thank you for
The
Thank you.
music was interesting. I guess I didn't ever know what kind of music that they really had
It-
there.
Yes, it's
Kind of
Portuguese string music.
Yeah, it's kind of like gypsy music,
Mhm.
Interesting.
The food looked fascinating and the flowers were very gorgeous.
Mhm.
Well, thank you. The food was good everywhere we went. We never had a bad meal. And yes, the scenery everywhere was interesting. Even in the back alleys of the cities, there was always something fascinating to look at.
Yeah, I liked the stone streets. Those were very beautiful.
Yeah.
So were the castles. That one looked pretty strange and interesting with the sort of round towers on the end.
You know, the Sintra Castle is very quirky. But there's a lot of stories about it, which I don't recall all now, but it's such a hodgepodge of different architectures.
Mhm.
It's crazy. I guess the fellow that did it was a little bit
Like wine.
it's a
The
fascinating, funny
Mm.
place.
The estate looked very plush.
The Matus estate is
Uh-huh.
fantastic. It was really it was such a beautiful set of gardens and the building and everything. The pictures are winnowed down from maybe 10 times as many as I showed. But,
Joel, it was frustrating when we went because they didn't allow us to photograph within the Matus building, and it was just spectacular, and I was really frustrated with that.
right.
Yeah.
Well, we couldn't. The other frustration was in Salamanca. On a previous trip, we had gone into the Art Deco Museum, but no photography is allowed inside. So
Mhm.
that was an external shot just to make a mark that if you're ever in Salamanca and you get a chance to go through the Art Deco Museum, I really recommend it. It's fantastic.
Mhm.
And we have good friends that went to the university there and graduated from
Mhm.
that university in Salamanca, which is one of the oldest universities in the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. I
Yeah.
noticed that there was a temple. Was there a Jewish population there at one time?
Yes, well, Spain, had the Inquisition, but
Right.
before that, there were a great many Jews in Spain.
Mhm.
Interesting. Well, it was a very nice show. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I hope everybody will come back on July 12th. George Harper has got a fantastic show on a remote tribe, the Omo River in Ethiopia.
Mhm.
Oh, boy.
One of the most remote peoples left on Earth, and that promises to be a real winner.
And we also have a critique coming up later in the month. You'll be getting notice of that in the next day or so.
Right. And if any of you watching haven't joined the camera club, please do.
Do.
Yes, indeed.
Why don't you send us the application for renewal?
It's on, well, you don't have to renew it. Well,
Well,
Yeah.
2020?
You will for 2022, right?
yeah, well, in 2020, because of the COVID restrictions and so on, we extended the memberships in 2020 through the end of 2021. So there was no need to renew
Oh,
in 2021, but
Okay.
2022 will be back to usual, to normal, I think, on that.
so in other words, we're going to be back watching these things in the clubhouses again.
Hopefully in the fall. The Clubhouse 3, the Performing Arts Center, is still, some of the renovations are not complete yet, and they're expecting it to be available to be open sometime in September, at which point we should be moving back to live meetings, actually seeing people.
That'll be nice, very nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just looked at the questions in the chat. I think we've answered most of them. A couple people asked about the cruise line. As I said, it was the AMA Waterways, and the boat we were on was called the Vita. The boat was launched in March, and we were on it in May, so it was
nice.
brand spanking new.
Fresh.
They did manage to crack one window on a previous trip that was in one of the slides, going through a lock. At one point, the river is extremely narrow, and the pilot, as I showed in one slide, has to steer in the part of his radar or sonar that shows where the river channel is deep enough. It's he just can't float down the river. It's got to pay attention all the way. But we had no mishaps, except that one lock was blocked by debris, and we had to back up and go through a different lock.
So they have to build the boats very, very narrow to go through these tunnels.
Yes, it was custom made for the river, of course.
Mhm.
I see.
100 people on the boat. It was ideal. I don't like huge cruises, and this one, everybody had an outside cabin.
Mhm.
And
How many people can they accommodate on this particular ship?
100.
Wow.
Mhm.
So
It's small enough and yet big enough.
right, approximately 50 cabins, 100 people.
Right.
Mhm.
What's the story on that elevator? The outside.
That was
tall-
designed by Eiffel, who did the Eiffel Tower.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah. I don't know exactly how it was built, but it was designed by Eiffel, and it's a must tourist thing to do when you're in Lisbon.
Yeah,
You go up, you get a 360 view from up there.
really.
Yeah, when I saw the picture of that, I looked it up on Google, and it talked about the fact that it's part of the public transportation system there. It takes you from one level to another,
Right.
and they have put in a viewing gallery at the top. but it is part of the public transportation system.
Right, you go part way up and can get off, and you don't have to climb to get to different levels of the city.
Mm.
Interesting.
So do people who live in that area use this vehicle to?
Well, you can't, it's no vehicles, it's pedestrians only.
Right.
Oh,
but,
I see.
Yeah, but it's like sort of the equivalent of a funicular, except it's really
Yeah, that's,
goes straight up and down.
Mm.
But yeah, it's part of the Lisbon system.
Lisbon looked like a very beautiful city, and it's
It really is an ancient city and very
Yeah,
beautiful
right.
city.
Yeah. I was there briefly on business quite a while ago now, and unfortunately, I got to see the inside of the control data offices and the inside of our customers' offices, and a restaurant and a hotel, and that's about it.
In business, that was my problem too.
yeah, you can't close when you're doing business.
Some other cruise liners, by the way, advertising trips up to Douro. I don't
Right,
know
yes.
Viking, but another one.
After AMA sort of pioneered it, a lot of other lines jumped in because they had done all they could do with the European cruises. And this became a new one. And we were very pleased because we were some of the earliest people to cruise on the Douro in this way. And it was really enjoyable.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're doing a
Yes.
wonderful
Thank you all
job.
very
Thank you, Joel.
And next
We'll see
time you
you at
get
the
Martha
next-
to speak. I
Mhm.
want to hear Martha. Share it.
See you next time.
Yep. Thank you so much, Joel. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Nice.